Oh, well, guys, good evening to all of you. So, guys, today we will discuss, today is our exam preparation class of your paper 2, semester 4, educational technology. Right, guys? So, I hope you have given your exams very well. Exams are the lengthy, guys. You have to make the, time management. Okay. Already I have told you, okay, which, strategy you have to use. Trust me, every answers, that the main thing is that you have to fill all the sheets and all the papers, all the questions you have to attempt. Okay, this is the most important. So today is our exam preparation as well as revision class of the educational technology, right, guys? So today I will talk about the strategies, the plan, okay, regarding this thing. And rest of the syllabus we have already discussed. Okay, so I will talk more and more regarding this. Okay, what would be our strategy? So I request to all of you, please, you should have a copy and pen, because some of the most important points I'm going to tell you, so that you can write on your copy, right? So take your copy and pen. So I start from here. This is your syllabus, guys. Okay, got it, all of you? This is your syllabus. So the questions paper would come off 60 marks. Okay, you all have to remember, this is a 60 marks aapka question paper hai, theory ka, right? And so basically the pattern is the same. Okay, you have given your first exam, you are well aware of that. Out of a 4 in the section A, you have to attempt 2 questions. Out of a 4 question from section B, you have to attempt 2 questions. The rest of the 10 question that carries 3 marks, but in this paper it will carry 2 marks. Okay, so short note are of 20 marks. Rest is 20 section A, 20 sections B, 40 long questions and 20 for short answers. Right, guys? Now we have to see, this is our syllabus, section A. So guys, please, write on your copy, okay, basically which 2 questions we have to do, right? So first, please note down, what do you understand by educational technology, concept, need and importance, and scope of educational technology. And sometimes it comes with types of educational technology, right? So you will get a, one questions over there. Everybody has to attempt this, because there is a lot of things asked by the examiner. So guys, he is talking about educational technology concept, need and importance, scope and types of education technology. So you can get a full-fledged, question over there, right, guys? Number 1. And number 2, I request to all of you, first, give preference to this one, second one, teaching and learning, right? In under the teaching and learning, what you have to learn? Under the teaching and learning, you should know that concept and meaning of teaching and learning, number 1. Number 2, nature and characteristics. Okay, it comes same concept of meaning, concept and meaning. Okay, second important thing is phases, right? You should know that the phases of teaching and learning. Can you tell me how many are the phases? 3 phases: pre-active phase, interactive phase, and post-active phase. You should know that. And the most important thing is that levels of teaching. There are again 3 levels of a teaching: memory level, understanding level, and reflective level, right? So second, this full-fledged questions you will get over there. Third question, I advise to all of you, your 2 questions are completing, okay, but you can prepare 1 more questions, okay, so that if it comes, you can attempt over there. So third questions, you can go for the communication. Okay, guys? So first, I will advise to all of you, first, these questions you have to attempt. Okay, you have to learn. Second, these questions you have to learn. Okay, both questions are the very good questions. You can stretch the questions, and these are the easy questions. And third, trust me, communication is again, it is a very easy, because the general things are asked in the communications. What is the communication process, components? Okay, role of a multimedia approach in the educational communications. You can write anything. What is the role of a multimedia in educational communication? Means what is education's technology? Basically, whatever the technologies, discoveries, till today we have invented, that has come in the market. When we use this technology in the process of education, this is called the educational technology. You can talk about audio, video, graphics, multimedia. So these all things that makes, when you using these all the things, deliver your lesson, it makes your lesson very effective. Okay, this is a multimedia approach in educational communications. Okay, and again, there are modern trends in educational communication. So what are the modern trends? Email. Otherwise, so it has already a we cannot say that it's a modern trend. Na? It is a teleconferencing. Okay, we can say that teleconferencing is a uh, modern trends. Interactive video conferencing, wiki, blogging, social networking site. Okay, if the questions comes with this, but definitely the examiner would ask, define the communication, write the role of blogging in the educational communications. Otherwise, second, he will put over there what is the role of a multimedia approach in educational communications, or otherwise he can put what are the barriers for the effective communications. Okay, so yeah, these are three things. Components they cannot include for a long, because components only these are short, short answers. So you can go for communications also. Because of guys, when you do this thing now, so your short questions automatically would cover under this. Okay, first I will discuss this, then again I will discuss your whole syllabus. Okay, I will go very swiftly because already we have covered this thing. So today I will talk about more and more about your exam preparation, because today is the exam preparation revision class. So we will discuss which questions we have to choose, which questions we have to do the first, and later on we will make our strategy, right guys? Because you have 2-3 days, then you have to give the paper. Okay, in a section B, so first of all of you have to go for this. Okay, we are going from bottom to top. So 8th point, modifications of teacher behavior, right? So here means you have in the mind, in this topic, it is talking about improvement of the teacher. Things are coming very clear, crystal clear. That here, when the questions come of the micro teaching, questions come of the simulated teaching, questions come of the Flender interaction analysis system and reciprocal category system, so only I have to talk about the improvement of the teacher, because these all the techniques are called the teacher training techniques. Okay, improvement of the teacher, improvement of the teaching of the teacher. Okay, these all the techniques, right? First, this thing you have to do, and then guys, go for this, the 7th point. Okay, see the 7th point. It is same as the communication which was in this section A, because under the section A, you can see it. Okay, I scroll it. Now see the section A. Section A, 3rd part. It is talking about role of a multimedia approach. So these are all the multimedia, e-learning, M-learning. M-learning is a multimedia approach, right? Collaborative learning, blended learning, new trends in the modern approach. Here the question is given on new trends. That's why I selected, and I told you that when you do the communication in a section A, so automatically most of the part of section B, concept and importance of these all the things is automatically covering, right guys? Technology aided learning, virtual classroom for generating student-centered learning environment, right? 2 things. And 3rd, all of you have to do the programmed learning. These 3. Okay, first focus on these 3. Then if you get a time, okay, so then you can go for the models, right guys? Because there are 4 models in your paper. One is inquiry teaching model, first fundamental element of Glaser model, Brunner concept attainment model, possible advanced organizer model, and Taba, Hilda Taba, Hilda Taba's inductive thinking model. Okay, so you can select also this. Okay, but sometimes most of the students find that instead of this we should learn this, so that's why I have told you. Okay, these are the easy one. Okay, then you can go for this, because these 3 point you do, and from the section A these 3 point you do. So guys, your 100% question is attempting. Okay, paper fourth one or fifth one, because these are for the long, but sometime little bit it can come for the short. Okay, so you can just study for the short, for a long you can do these things, right guys? So it should be your strategy, okay, to learn from like that way. Okay guys, and in a communication such type of a questions come, so you can stretch the answers. Even teaching learning comes, define the levels of a teaching. So you can write about first of all teaching, nature and characteristics of a teaching, but then define more and more about the levels of the teaching, right? In a communications you can do a lot of things about. Okay, matlab even you can add by yourself guys under this, what are the recent trends in the communications, recent trends in the educational communications, what are the recent trends, you can add that. Okay, blogging ho gaya, right? Social networking sites ho gaya, you can mention the sites and you can stretch it over there, right? Okay, done. Then we go for the last year paper. So this is your last year paper. Okay, syllabus we have done, we have made a strategy, you have noted all the questions you have to do. Okay, I have given you the notes, even I have given you the last year solved paper. Okay, okay, see, this is the last year the paper. The question has come: define educational technology, describe in detail different types of educational technology. देखो same questions आ गया ना, right? And second, describe in detail different levels of teaching. So guys, if you see this question has come of a 10 marks. Okay, so here what you have to do, at least I think, and even I suggest to you, even 1.5 page you should write about the teaching. What is a teaching, nature and characteristics of the teaching. Okay, then you have to make the another heading, third heading, different levels of the teaching. And under the 3 levels, you have to talk about memory, understanding, and reflective, right? Because now some of the students now, just see the question and start writing from the first heading, levels of teaching. So it is advised to all of you. Okay, first talk about what is the base of the question. Well, it is talking about even the 3 levels have come. They have come from the teaching. You should define about teaching first, right? And I advise to all of you guys, please learn the question first. Okay, I advise to all of you, learn at least 2 times, 3 times of each question. It will take only 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Okay, just learn the question, fit into your mind what you have to write, then start writing. Okay, third question is, what is the process of communication? How blogging can be used in the educational communications? It has come now, blogging can be used. Next time you can find that, he can write that, what are the recent trends used in the educational communication? You can write it, recent trends used in the educational communications. So then you have to talk about all the M-learning, e-learning, virtual classroom, right? Blended learning. These all are the recent trends now. So from that way, it can, put the questions along with the process of communication. Okay. Fourth question has come from the taxonomy. Okay. It is talking about the, Bloom's taxonomy of, educational objectives and behaviors, right? So it is talking about the objectives of psychomotoric domain only. Why and how to write objectives in the behavioral term, right? So even you can go for this also. You can see from the notes, but I advise you first, do the, above 3-1. Now see the section B. Okay. Section B may, it is, good one. Even last time, the very easy question has come from the model. Even that there are 4 or 5 models in your syllabus. Inquiry model, Hilda Taba thinking model, Osable ka organizer model. But he has asked a very simple question. Define teaching model. What are the fundamental elements of a teaching model? So guys, I advise to all of you, if you don't have to go all the models, है ना, you are skipping only for the long you are doing all the 3-1 na. So then do one thing, at least learn this, because if this question repeats, you can write this question also. Okay, teaching model, what are the fundamental elements? वही वो ने 5-6 fundamental elements ना, focus, syntax, social, application, है ना, these are 5 or 6 points. Then question has come, what is programmed learning? Describe the major principles of a programmed learning. So here he is asking about the major principles, and it can be, might be possible, in your exam he can ask from you, define the programmed learning, and write the different types of programmed learning, all the 3 types. Then you have to define linear, branching, and mathematics, right? So first of all, when this question comes up, to define at least 1 page and 1.5 page for the programmed learning, because it is written, it is mentioned. See guys, always see the numbers also. That's why now I have told you at least 2 to 3 times you have to learn the question, you have to read the question. It is written 2 number is given to the programmed learning, 8 number is given to the principles of the programmed learning. So then you have to define about the programmed learning. So what is basically programmed learning? It is a instructional method. It is a instructional approach for a individualized learning, right? This is a programmed learning basically, right? Based on the concept of the operand conditions, right? In a programmed learning, we make the small frames, right? And the student has to go, and this is a self-paced learning, you can say, in a 1 line. Individualized learning in 1 line, you can say. Okay. Then 7th questions, differentiate between e-learning and m-learning. A very easy question has come. Critically examine the concept of blended learning, right? So you have to define about e-learning, merits of the e-learning, then m-learning, merits of the m-learning, then about the blended learning, off and on. For example, I have already told you, it is a mixture of offline learning and online learning, right? Physical learning as well as online learning. This is called the blended learning. Given the notes. Means 3 questions you are getting. And last questions, Blender interaction analysis system and reciprocal category system, right? So 3 questions you are covering this. Then under section C, if you do this now, so small questions automatically covered. Okay, it is talking about education's technology. You know that education technology. Now it is talking about how it is helpful for the secondary school teacher, right? Use of a email in secondary school teaching. Another, it is an easy one. Pre-active phase, yeah, pre-active stage of teaching. You can define it in a pre-active stage. We prepare, teacher prepare each and everything, right? What is the role of a teacher in post-active stage? Dekho, from the stage 2 question has come. It is a very easy one, right? What is the usefulness of social networking for the secondary school stage student? So you can say that, it is a very easy one from the social networking. Assumptions of inductive thinking model of a teaching. So for a short, you can do assumption kar lo at least, okay, if you are skipping for a long. Frame in the program learning, kya bolte hain usko? Educational implication of a advanced organizer model of teaching. So, it is very, implications you have to talk about. And in general, for example, without learning, guys, you can write it, because you know that these models are for the development of the teacher, right? Implications you have to just write about, what are the implications of helpful for the teachers, basically. Different phases of micro teaching and assumption of a simulated teaching. Already told you what is micro teaching and simulated teaching. Okay. Micro teaching is a scale down teaching. I have told you that. Okay. It is basically for the teachers, teacher improvement of the teaching of the teacher. Basically, under the micro teaching, only the duration of the micro teaching is 5 to 7 minutes, and only one skill is a student teacher, B.Ed trainees works on the one skill unless or until he gets trained. This is called the micro teaching. Okay. In a macro teaching, small micro teaching that makes a big lesson. This is called the macro teaching. Okay. तो माइक्रो टीचिंग बेसिकली क्या चीज है? इट इज ए स्केल डाउन टीचिंग. इट इज यूज फॉर द helpful for the teaching of the teacher. It is the teacher training technique, okay, under which the trainee, prepares himself, okay. And simulated teaching, I have already told you, kind of, when we make an artificial environment, right, before going to the real situation, before going to the internship, okay, we think ourselves, we make artificial environment, we are teaching to the 7th class student, although they are our classmate, we make such conditions, and then we start teaching, and one person's the teacher observes and he corrects us, okay, before going to the actual situation. This is a simulated, okay. I have written in all the notes. You can go for the notes. Even in detail I have written about micro teaching and simulated. Okay guys, so I hope even 80-90% questions you will get from the last year paper, right, if you go for these questions, right guys. So okay, so I have solved last year question also, as well as rest of the syllabus I have discussed. So I will go very swiftly because it has already discussed. Today was a class of the exam preparation class. Define education's technology, describe detailed different types of education's technology. Okay, so then at least already I have told you, and 1.5 page you have to talk about education's technology. Nature of characteristics of education's technology, little bit you can define, but more and more you have defined about different types of educational technology, right guys? And already that 6 pages you have to fill, half an hour you have to give. When the time exceeds, jump to the next question instead of writing the same question, because 100% attemptation should be done. This should be our motto, okay, right? So under these questions, 1.5 pages you have to give for the education's technology, and rest of pages for the different types of education's technology, and you must give conclusion, right? So already we have discussed synchronous and asynchronous, linear learning, and the collaborative learning, right? Second, describe in detail different levels of a teaching. Already guys we have discussed, many times we discussed teaching, right? 3 levels of the teaching, okay. So the only thing that you have to learn, you have to write even, because I will suggest you take the copy and pen, okay, write the questions. If this questions comes, make in your mind, as well as write. If this questions would come, I would write this thing, okay. Even headings now you can write it now guys, at least, right? In a copy you can write the headings if this question come. So before going into learning the question, now first see the syllabus and last year paper, because understanding, you should have a first understanding of that, what he will ask, okay. The next question is, what is the process of communication? How blogging can be used in educational communications? So you have to define about the communication, right? Communications kya cheez hai? It is a process of passing information and understanding from one person to another. So always remember, in a communication there is a one sender, on the other side who is receiving, this is called a receiver, and media which carries your message, this is called medium, okay. Features of communications, you can talk about process of communication. You can see that message, sender, encoding. Yes, encoding means because you send the message with the help of some device na, for example mobile, okay. You are writing a message to your friend who is in the USA. You are saying that, okay, I'm fine, okay, on this date I have the exam, okay, whatever the message you write it. So guys, what happens, actually mobile does not learn the English language, right? These are the machine, these are the electronic devices. They don't know Hindi, English, Punjabi, or any other language. They respond only to the machine level language that comes in the form of a 0 and 1. So basically there is a inside processor, inside scheme, inside algorithm. They encode your message automatically. So when these messages goes to the receiver, so automatically there is some software in the computer, they convert the machine level language to the English level language and comes on the screen, so that the other users can learn easily in the form of English, because the English machine knows the 0 and 1 language. So there is a software who converts the machine level languages to computer language and computer level languages to machine level language, right guys? So here, that's why you have to talk about encoding. And on the other side, you, if the question comes about, process of communication, and on the other side, you have to talk about decoding. Okay, but it is all done by the machine. And then, how the blogging can be used, the educational communication. So blogging, we have already discussed, earlier name was a weblog. Okay, what is a blogging and how it is helpful for the educational communications? All the points you can write it. Blogging used for the teaching, blogging encourage learning through blogs. Okay, the next question, define the teaching model. What are the fundamental elements of the teaching model? First, you have to define what are the teaching model. Model is a plan, pattern that can be used for shape curriculum, right? Teaching models ka means hai basically behavior by a teacher in such a way the learner will try to acquire through imitation. Teaching model, guys, if you have to learn in a one line, so basically it is a behavior of the teacher which the teacher reflects while he is teaching. This is called a teaching model, right? Model of teaching. The style of the teacher, right? The attitude the teacher reflects while teaching. This is called the, a model of the teaching. You can write the definition of a joyous and wheel. Teaching models are just instructional design. They describe the process of specifying and producing particular environment situation which cause the student to interact in such a way that specific change occurs in his behavior. Guys, after writing this definition, one thing you have understood, which usually I have told you many times, teaching does not mean pouring into the mind of the student. Teaching means stimulating the learning power of the student. I have many times I have given you the example. For example, if the one student is getting, he is very weak student, he is getting a very, less marks up to the class of a 6. But what happens in a 7th class? Okay, you start teaching to the 7th class because you always teach to the 7th class. So when the student gets in the 7th class, and earlier up to the 6th class, he was taking only 40% or 50% marks. But what happens in your class, he has gotten 90% marks. So guys, basically credit, main credit, okay, it goes to the student, right? Sometimes what happens, teacher says that, due to my teaching, the student has got this marks. Okay, basically guys, because in the earlier classes, because the point of the teacher is that because in the earlier classes up to the 6th class, he was getting only 40% marks. When he comes in the 7th class, I started teaching and he got a 80% marks. Guys, basically the answer behind is that, okay, actually whatever has learned, it is learned by the student itself. The IQ level of student was fine, but what happened up to the class of a 6, he didn't get a good teacher like you, which you stimulated the learning power of the student. So teaching, don't think that I have prepared a lesson with a hard, way. Now today, situation is not good, and even you are trying to teach to the student. So basically, you have to teach to the student when everything would be okay, and you have to teach from a that way which stimulates the learning power of the student. Okay, this is called actually teaching. But most of the teacher thinks that because the teacher knows the point, that's why he started teaching in the class, student got it. Okay, so already student have everything in their mind. The main thing is that with your effective teaching, you have to draw out of the best. As Joyce and Wheel has said that teaching models are just instructional design. They describe the process of specifying and producing particular environment situation which causes the student to interact in such a way that specific change occurs in his behavior. Right, guys? So after the model of a teaching, you have to talk about little bit features, characteristics of a teaching. Then you have to talk about the different steps, yeah, fundamental elements, right? Focus, syntax, principle of reaction, social system, support system, or application. We have already discussed. And last, you can, write even utility of teaching models in the teaching, right? But conclusion you have to give. Okay, I didn't give, but you must give the conclusion. Okay, some of the answers I have given. Okay, next step, what is programmed learning? Describe the major principles of programmed learning. So programmed learning, you have to define it is a, individual, individual learns from his pace, programmed learning. And what are the major principles? So all the, 4 and 5 principles you have to define. Guys, I advise to all of you in a programmed learning, learn the definitions of a Kulkarni, because it is very easy. You can learn easily and you can write it. Definitions of Professor Gane, Leith, Smith and Murray, Gulati and Gulati, not the Kulkarni, from out of 4, this one, you can learn the definitions of a Leith also, right? Go for the Leith, and if you think that it is a long one, okay, so then go for Smith and Murray, right? So please try to write, one definition you want to, if you want to get a good marks. And under a principle of a programmed learning, you have to define all the major fundamental principles of programmed learning, right? It means now you are preparing a instructional material for the student, keeping in view that the interest, attitude, level of the student, right? When this thing is clear to you, you will automatically learn the principles of programmed learning. It should be of the small steps. It should be of active responding. It should be of immediate reinforcement, principle of a self-pacing, principle of a student testing, right? Okay, this is a short note I have given along with this. Okay, the 7th questions come. Differentiate between e-learning and m-learning. Critically examine the concept of a blended learning. So guys, you know that we have already discussed, about e-learning. I have defined what are the advantages. E-learning means online learning. Basically, you all have to define about the online learning. M-learning means mobile learning. Okay, both, even advantages, features are same for the both. Number 1, anywhere, anytime. You can get the message, send the message from anywhere, from the anytime, with the help of a mobile, with the help of a online learning, right? So these are all the, same points of e-learning and m-learning. Whenever you have to talk about the blended learning, you have to talk about it is a, mixture of the learning, mixture of the technology, by which you can get the online support as well as offline support also. Most of the university have started such kind of a courses where student go once in a week, and rest of the 6 days, 5 days material he covers from the online, because school also made such kind of a softwares. Okay, in abroad you will see the blended learnings, right? A prerequisite of a blended learning, if you want to start your course with the help of a blended learning, so then guys, some of the prerequisite requirement you have to complete it. Okay, for example, you want to teach the student with the help of a website, basically blended learning is that. So then you have to train your teacher in the online learning also. Okay, how to use the different type of a technologies, different type of a devices, so that you can get the fruit of, such kind of a technology in an effective way, right? So all the points, well-trained teachers need for the blended learning, teacher with scientific attitude, teacher with wider outlook, complete facilities, with a wider outlook, need of a teacher. So teacher always, always ready for, for the change. Basically, this is the teacher which brings the change in the society. 1964-66, Secondary Education Kothari Commission has said that no level can rise above the level of the teacher. You must remember these type of definitions. Okay, blended learning. After that, guys, okay, section C, I have also, solved short answers for you. Okay, how education technologies is helpful for the secondary school teacher. So here you have to talk about how it helpful for the, you know, uh, you know, 10th class +1 +2 secondary school students ho na, automatically you have to talk about this. Okay. Then, you know, email, it is written already in the long questions, pre-active phase of teaching and post-active. Okay, we will further study in the next pages. Social networking, you have done it. Inductive assumptions of a inductive thinking of a model. So ye assumption hai, these three assumptions of a inductive thinking. Thinking can be taught. Thinking is an active transaction between the individual and the data. Process of thought evolved by a sequence that is lawful. This you have to remember. Okay, you will have to remember na, right? Because wo models hai, you can write in your own way na. Assumption was given by thinking model, right? Frame in program learning, educational implication, advanced organizer, model of a teaching. Okay, I have explained advanced organizer, model of teaching, right? And difference phase of micro teaching and simulated teaching. Okay, we cover in the next pages. Okay, so up to 56 pages, I have defined all the last year paper, solved last year paper, and even I have defined some of the, you know, short answers also. Okay, and after the 56 pages, rest of the pages, okay, I have made the notes of rest of the part, okay, which left from your syllabus. So first, education technology, right? Need and importance of education technology, Hana, it was in your syllabus, okay, but didn't come in the questions. Okay, that's why, you know, here I'm defining need and importance, you know, that of education technology, right, guys? Because today is the exam preparation classes, na, that's why I'm going swiftly, because we have already done this, na, right? So today we have made the strategy. Scope of education technology. So these all the scope of education technology, huh? You must learn, because questions can come na. Last time the questions came, explain education technology, need and importance, and types of education technology. But this time the questions can come, define education technology, need and importance, and scope of education technology. So then guys, you must learn the scope of education technology, right? Models of teaching, guys, na, already we have discussed model of a teaching in the form of question and answer, na, right? Model of teaching. Then modifications of teacher behavior, micro teaching. Ye dekho, that's why na, I have told you na, I have explained in a, you know, very long way about the, you know, micro teaching, because na, this topic you have to do na, micro teaching, simulated teaching, Flender interaction analysis system. So keeping in view that the long answer you are attempting, so that's why I have defined this. So your micro teaching we have discussed, guys, है ना? LNW, micro teaching is a scale down teaching, encounter in class size and class time. BK Passi, ये Passi कौन हुए? BK Passi, you should know that. BK Passi is called the father of micro teaching, guys. Okay, Passi sir. So I have met with the Passi sir many times, right? So he basically, he is from, you know, Punjab. He was from he is from the Punjab. So I have even met, you know, in many conferences of Passi sir. Abhi, you know, from last 7, 8 years, 10 years now, I didn't, you know, meet sir. But, you know, when I was, you know, working as an assistant professor in the colleges, education colleges, so then I got a chance to meet Professor Passi sir, BK Passi. BK Passi, he is called the father of micro teaching, right? So he has said that even, you know, I have attended one conferences of Passi sir. He you know, gave the conference in Bangkok. So then, you know, we along with, you know, many teachers, we went over there. I'm talking about, you know, at least 17, 18 years back, right? Micro teaching is a training technique which requires student teachers to teach a single concept using a specified teaching skills to a small number of a pupil in a short durations of time, right? Passi sir, if you can learn this definition, if you think it is a little bit long, so then go for this. Micro teaching is a scaled down teaching encounter in class size and class time, said by the LNW, LNDW, or LNB, you can write it. Okay, LN, said by the LN. In a micro teaching, it reduces the class size 5 to 10 pupil, duration of the period to 36 minutes. So it reduce the duration of a period. Period we always 5 to 10 minutes. It has written reduce the duration of a period. to reduce the size of the lesson, to reduce the teaching skills. This is the main assumptions of a teaching. Real teaching, reducing complexities, focus on training, increase control of practice, expanding knowledge and result. Procedure kya hai? It is also called the cycle of micro teaching. Defining skill. Okay, first of all, then demonstrate the skill demonstrated by the teacher, planning the lesson, teaching the lesson, discussion, फिर again replanning, again reteaching, again rediscussion, again repeating the cycle. So this cycle repeats, go on until the teacher trainee, until the B.Ed trainee gets master in that particular skill. Okay. Objectives of a micro teaching. Okay, you can learn it. Advantages of a micro teaching. Okay, disadvantages. Then it is talking. These are teaching skills, right? All the teaching skills. Simulated teaching. Hana, I have discussed simulated teaching also. You know what happened in the simulated teaching? Planning, involvement, feedback, control, time. Actually, guys, I can give you the example of a simulated teaching. If you remember, okay, but you are in the class of the M.Ed now. Basically, last year, what happened when when the year was a Corona year and others. Even many universities, they conducted a skill in teaching by simulated mode, because now there was a lockdown. Nobody was going to the school and colleges. So what happened? Every student have given the exam through the blended mode. Okay, well, I'm talking about the B.Ed student. So you know that in a B.Ed classes, there is a internship of a 4 month. Every student has to go to the different schools to teach over there. So, but during the Corona, that was not possible. So what happened? All the universities, many universities, they conducted a skill in teaching by simulated mode. So what happened in a simulated mode? Because there was a particular day, every student got a link. They connected on the link. The one student has to teach, other student, they have to think about the class of a 6th class, right? So they created artificial situations. Okay. Simulated teaching, micro teaching, these all are the teachers' training techniques before going to the actual situation. Right, guys? So these are all the steps, advantages, disadvantages, and last May you have to write about the conclusion. Or ye teachers' behavior Flender interaction analysis system. I have told you that. Okay. If first of all you can skip, if you want to skip this part, so then you have to learn all the 3 points above. Okay, but when all the 3 topics clear to you, then you can skip it about models of the teaching. Okay, but for a short answer you can learn. Okay, even for the short questions we have learned now, assumption of thinking model, what are the advantages of an organizer model, but this thing you have to learn. Okay, if you prepare for the short answers. Okay, next is phase of stage of teaching. So this is very simple, 3 stages of a teaching, guys. Many times I have discussed with you. One is pre-active stage, second is interactive stage, and third is post-active stage. So what happens in the pre-active stage? It has discussed, right? What happens in the interactive stage? It has discussed. And in the post-active stage, already told you many times, right? And last May, I have given the types of programming, program learning, linear programming, right? Then branching, or last May, mathematics programming. Okay, so ye last note, you can learn it, guys. Okay, guys. So guys, thank you so much for today's class. So today we have discussed, our, almost all the paper. Okay, right? Means we have discussed in a very well all the 3 part from the section A, and from all the 3 part from here. Even models of a teaching we have discussed, even it is written in the notes, you can learn over there, right, guys? So best wishes for your exams, guys. If you have any questions, any query, you can ask from me, guys, and best wishes for your exam.
Sir.